football jig. I mean, gosh, this thing is really, in the last several years, become a big player. My favorite time to throw a football head jig is well, I love to throw it anytime. See here, it's just pretty flat. It's not much to it. Nothing really that would make me want to throw a football jig right here. That's your football head time. I mean, this is your bait to go. The thing about the football head is, you know, when I'm throwing a 3/4 ounce football head, I'm thinking about fishing a little bit deeper. Okay, you see that right there? We just went. You see that drop right there? I'm gonna let that. I mean, really gonna try to pay attention when I get in that. Catches big fish. But the key to this bait probably is, you know, I like to, you know, fish long color selections on this. Basically, it's how I choose all my colors. You know, the clearer the water, the more when the water gets more stained, I'm going to throw. Electronics can be really important. Like the missed one right there on that drop, man. I mean, I came over that deal and he came back and got it like this. You know, the neat thing about the football head is you're not fishing for one bite. I mean, you're fishing for the mother lode, man. When you find them offshore like this, dragging that jig, man, you can literally catch them every cast. As far as rods and line on a football head jig, making a really long throw, and I'm pulling that jig, and that fish bites it. You got to reel up a lot of slack. You may be catching them deep, and that's the other thing to be. You know, when you're fishing that big jig, you know, out in the deep water, and you fill out there in one thump jig offshore and rocks and things like that, and then go ahead and use your regular flipping jig. I think one of the mistakes I see a lot of people make on a football jig is they overwork the bait. They spend a lot of time with your electronics when you're doing this, and drops. And I'm gonna tell you this: with a little time, I can find them on this bait here. Now there are times on these ledges and things like that. If I know there's a lot of fish there, and man, I'm dragging it and I'm not biting, and the fish just don't seem to be really eating very good. The football head jig is a bait you've got to use some patience, but when you find them, I mean, big time dividends. I mean, you can really get them right in a hurry.